there, it's Mary from stampingmary.stampinup.net. Thank you for joining me today. Today's card features the Holly Jolly Wishes stamp set and the Stitched Stars dies from Stampin' Up, plus a little bit of blending with our Stampin' Up blending brushes. So what you're going to need to make this card is a basic white card base, just cut in half and scored. This is a piece of the Designer Series paper, and it's in the soft succulent colorway, and it's from the Tidings of Christmas 6x6 paper stack, which you'll find in the Stampin' Up annual catalogue. You'll need a scrap piece of cherry cobbler cardstock for the stars. I've gone ahead already and cut out this scalloped piece here, and I actually used this die to do that, this one right here, and that's from the Scalloped Contours dies. It's a great die with the stitching on it. I've used it for lots of different edgings on cards. A piece of basic white cardstock. I've used the thick, that's for our blending and our stamping, and a small piece of the specialty foil paper, which is in the Stampin' Up mini catalogue. That's for a couple of our stars. So before we do anything else, I'm going to do the die cutting. Bring in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to run through the larger of the dies. If you haven't used haven't thought about this, the mini one, it's a great addition to your craft tools. It's so small but also so versatile to keep on your desk and just use for some of the quicker die cutting, and just sometimes you just don't feel like getting out your larger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to cut out the two smaller dies now on the foil. Okay. I would not be without this little mini. Definitely wouldn't want to be without it. I use it a lot. Just goes off the plate. Right. Get out of the way. And let's just pop all these out of our star from the cherry cobbler. Go. The die. This foil, specialty foil paper is just so great, and if you've seen any of my videos you'll notice that I've used it quite a lot, particularly in the Christmas themed videos. Let's get them out of the way, I don't want to lose them, because the Stitched Star dies are also another favourite of mine. Let's pop all of that out. There we go. Right, that's done. Okay, let's do our blending now before we do anything else. So I'm just bringing in one of our Stampin' Up blending brushes, and I'm using the soft succulent stamping pad, classic stamping pad, because that's the colour that's in this Designer Series paper. So if you haven't done any blending, grab your blending brush. I just do a few light circular movements. Start off the page, otherwise you could end up with a big splotch of colour right where you don't want it, and then just start your blending. Now the lighter you go, obviously the less impact, less colour you're going to get. So I always start light and then just start moving in the colour. And this is not a exact science, so you're going to want to get yeah, just practice with it. Depends what you like, how you want the look, how you want it to look. I'm going to go a little bit darker, I think, than last time. There we are, I'm happy with that. Obviously I could have used a piece of the soft succulent cardstock, but I like the softness of the blending and the different tone it gives. All right, so you may notice there's a little bit of splattering. So I've used one of our Stampin' Up markers, and this is shaded spruce. I'm using the brush tip end. Now this is very scientific. Get everything out of the way that you don't want colour on, and I just do this. So all I'm doing is flicking it. So I'm putting the lid, this tip end, the thicker tip end in here, and I'm just doing that. I'm not touching the card, I'm just flicking it down. I hope you can see that action. So it's coming in here, and then it's a flick down. And again, depending on how much tone you want in there, I might just do a little bit more. You can get carried away. Now the sentiment has to be stamped, and I'm using the Evening Evergreen. Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent seem to me to be a match made in heaven. And I'm using the Merry Christmas. This is the stamp set, Holly Jolly Wishes, and I'm using that lovely big stamp right there. Let's just get all this out of the way because we don't want anything stamped where it shouldn't be. Just going to make sure that stamp is straight. It's not as straight as it probably could be. Let me just see if I can straighten that up without getting too much ink everywhere. Good. Always pays to have a practice. So I'm just coming more over to the right side over here, and I'm just sort of angling it more in the, just eyeballing it really. There we go. There we are. I'm happy with that. Now it's time to put our stars on. But before I do that, let's put the cutout piece, our little scalloped piece of colour in here. And let's quickly just pop that on. I'm just going to grab my stamping seal. Just grab that, and then just going to position this right about there. Depends how much you want showing. Not quite, I want a little bit less, I think. Just a little bit less showing right there. Yep, that works. Then the stars with a couple of the smaller mini dimensionals, which are right here. And where'd that star go? There it is. Pop that up with a mini dimensional. That was not quite where I wanted it to be. Sorry about that. And put that on there. About there. You can have them flat. I just like the dimension of it here. Around about there. And then the other small one I'm just going to pop on with a small glue dot. No, so it's not a small glue dot, sorry, a small piece of some Tombow. So now we're just going to position. I popped dimensionals on the back of that one, by the way. Just position that right there. This designer series paper measures 14.2 centimeters across the top, and down the side it's 9.9, so it just gives a small edge around your card, and then straight onto the card, and it's done. Very, very easy to make. And very effective, I think, with that little bit of blending. And it's a good way to get started with blending. Once you start blending, I guarantee you'll want to keep doing it because it's fun. It's a really fun technique. And there you have it. Merry Christmas to you, featuring the Holly Jolly Wishes set and blending technique from Stampin' Up. I have put a list of all the products I've used in the description bar below, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. stampingmary, MERRY @gmail.com. Thank you so much. Bye.